This week we explored together Parashat Toldot. As we walk into Shabbat, I wanted to share with you a Dvar Torah on the entire parasha. But before I do, I wanted to thank the Shnayim Yomi project for the opportunity to participate. Doing Shnayim Yomi it's easy, but it's fundamental and allows us, as the Chachamim had intended, to walk into Shabbat prepared, knowing the parasha, and also having our questions on the parasha, which is important for the dinner table, for our questions, for our children, for our families, but also to keep us constantly engaged with the Torah. So I want to thank the Shnayim Yomi project for allowing me to participate and giving me the opportunity to share with you words of Torah, and I hope that you will share them with your family and that you enjoy them. Sefer Bereshit is a book about legacies. And we read that in the opening pasuk of the parasha. Ve'ele Toldot Yitzchak ben Avraham, Avraham holid et Yitzchak. The word Toldot appears 13 times in the Torah. 11 of them in Sefer Bereshit. The word Toldot basically saying, this is a book about legacies. And as we move from one M to the next, we see that legacy being passed down from generation to generation. Rabbi Norman Lamb, alav Shalom, has a fascinating insight into understanding, based on the text, what the legacy of each person in the story is. And essentially he says, look at the word right after the word Toledot, and that tells you what the legacy of that person was. As an example, Parashat Vayishlach, at the end it says, Ele Toledot Esav Avi Edom. This is the legacy of Esav, who's the father of Edom. Edom coming from red. In this week's parasha, right? He took the soup which was red. Red is love. Red is passion. Red is blood. Esav's legacy was an inclination for physical desires. He marries all of these women. He's Ish Yodeat Sa'id Ish Sadeh. He's a hunter by trade. His legacy was physical desires, was all things red. Passion and murder and love and lust. If we go back, Ele Toledot Noach Ish Sadik Tamim Haya B'Dorotav. What was Noach's legacy? Noach's legacy was himself. The greatest thing that Noach does is he saves the world from the flood. But where he failed was he didn't move on after that. Borei Olam told him procreate, but he doesn't want to, understandably so, given the context. Noach's legacy was Noach himself. He saved himself and his family so that we could move on, but essentially his legacy was preserving the present. Yaakov, Ele Toledot Yaakov, Yosef ben Shema Asrei Shana. What is Yaakov's legacy? Look at the next word, Yosef. His legacy was the future, was the Shivatim, was investing in his children, all 12 of them, the ideas, ideals, and values of monotheism and Yahadut as he wanted to see them move into fruition and become a nation. His legacy is Yosef. What is Yitzchak's legacy? We've been alluding to it all week. I'll read the pasuk again. Ve'ele Toldot Yitzchak ben Avraham. Avraham holid et Yitzchak. Yitzchak's legacy was preserving his father's inspiration, preserving the work that his father did. The next word is Ben Avraham. He's the son of Avraham, and he would make that known. He redigs the wells that his father dug because he wants to make sure the footprint of monotheism is there. All the things that his father did, he copies. You know, sometimes we ask, where does Yitzchak fit in the scheme of things? Abraham is the initiator, Yaakov is the developer, so to speak, but Yitzchak is the link in the chain. I don't get to develop what was initiated if it's not still there. Yitzchak's legacy was preserving what was started and making sure that what began at point A got to point B. And it's important for all of us, as the pasuk says, Parashat Ha'azinu Zechor Yimot Olam Binu Shenot Dor Vador. We have to understand that we have to be a link between the past and the future. It's not just about moving forward, It's also about preserving what was, because if we don't preserve what was given over to us, there will be nothing to give over to move forward in the future. Yitzchak lays the groundwork for the fundamental task that we as Yehudim have. Preserve tradition, preserve Torah, preserve our roots, make sure they are intact, and in a world that is new, that is attacking all of those values, make sure you preserve them and give them over to your children so that they too can preserve them and give them over to the next generation. If there's anything to learn from Yitzchak Avinu, it is a commitment to what was, so that we can also have the ability to move on to what will be. Thank you for joining me in learning Parashat Toldot. Shabbat Shalom.